Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. A heartfelt thank you to all those of you who've subscribed till date, and a huge thank you to those of you who are watching this video. Today I'm going to take with you the formal invitation writing using a shortcut. A shortcut, as you saw in the ones for notice and formal letter writing, will show you the way how you can very easily attain the maximum marks possible in writing a formal invitation. For those of you who've been with me in the previous two videos, by now you know that mnemonics are nothing but a way of recalling information that you have retained using patterns or ideas, acronyms, symbols, or making associations. The example that I had given you was my very educated mother just showed us 9 planets, which helped us remember the sequencing of the 9 planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Of course, that changed when Pluto was removed as a planet. The younger generation, you all know the full form of FOMO, feeling of missing out. And NASA and CAPTCHA, which we hear so often, are here in front of you in their full forms, although we know them as CAPTCHA. I had a call from a student who told me that, ma'am, I have a very interesting way of remembering which hemisphere the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn are in. He said that I remember that Arctic Circle is in the northern hemisphere. Arctic has 6 letters in it and Cancer has 6 letters in it. The word Antarctic, which is in the Southern Ocean, has got 9 letters in it, and similarly Capricorn has 9 letters in it. These are ways in which, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, you can devise your own associations to remember. Today, let me show you the shortcut for writing a formal invitation, because I've had a lot of queries from students as to what the format is and how they can remember it. The shortcut or the formula is a very simple one to remember. W squared is equal to W squared and revert. That means whether you read it from the left to the right or from the right to the left, it reads the same. W squared is equal to W squared. But the purpose of the word revert is another one which I shall explain to you in my next slide. The marking scheme for an invitation or a reply is given on your screen, and if you can remember this simple formula that W squared is equal to W squared and you reverse it, you will be able to get the maximum possible marks in writing an invitation. I have shown you 2 illustrations of formal invitations here, requesting you to remember just 2 points. W squared is equal to W squared revert, and in both these you can see that the body of the invitation is center aligned. One more factor that I would like you to remember is the second line, request the pleasure of. In this it says request the pleasure of your company. This is the line, boys and girls, I need you to remember and retain. Request the pleasure of the company of. I repeat, request the pleasure of the company of. Let me now take a moment to explain to you what W squared is equal to W squared revert stands for. The first W is for who is the host and is doing what. The second W is for whom to invite. The equal to sign is E for event. The W on the other side of the equal to sign is for when is the event, and you will mention the day, the date, and the time. The second W on the other side of the equal to sign is where is the event, and R, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is for the RSVP, where you are reverting, as I'd mentioned here, to the host. Reverting as in replying. RSVP is a French term, répondez s'il vous plaît, which means please reply. Répondez, reply. S'il vous plaît is please. And you have to revert back. That is the purpose of the R in the shortcut. So you need to remember W squared is equal to W squared and revert. The best way for me to explain this to you is with an illustrative example which I've put on the screen for you. I'll read it out for you. The Lord Chamberlain is commanded by the princess to invite, let's put my own name over here, Yashika Bhardwaj, to the marriage of Her Royal Highness Princess Cadence with Mr. Shining Armour at Canterlot Palace on Saturday 21st April 2012 at 1 p.m. And a reply is requested to. The address is given on the left side, and on the right side the dress has been mentioned. Let's make the associations. We have first W. Who is the host and is doing what? It says the Lord Chamberlain is commanded by the princess to invite. Whom to invite? Yashika Bhardwaj. What is the event? The marriage of Her Royal Highness Princess Cadence with Mr. Shining Armour. When is it? With the day, date and time. And where is it? At Canterlot Palace on Saturday 21st April 2012 at 1 p.m. An RSVP, répondez s'il vous plaît, is always given on the left side of the invite. As I mentioned to you, please ensure that the body of the invitation is center aligned, but the répondez s'il vous plaît will come on the bottom left side with the requisite information. Here, the reply has been requested to an office, so they expect you to reply in writing. Let me now explain it to you with a question that could possibly come in your exams and a situation that you could encounter even when you're practicing your invitations in your class. Here I've written, the principal, staff and students of YB Public School request the pleasure of the company of Mr. and Mrs. Kapoor for Ashain, the annual appreciation day of the primary wing on Saturday 23rd December 2023 at 4 p.m. at the Tivoli Theatre, Greater Noida. RSVP, and I have given a number over here. Once again, as we see, who is the host and is doing what? The principal, staff and students of YB Public School request the pleasure of the company of. Whom are they inviting? It's Mr. and Mrs. Kapoor. What is the event? For Ashain, the annual appreciation day of the primary wing. When is it? On Saturday, 23rd December 2023 at 4 p.m. So you've got the day, the date and the time. Where is it? At the Tivoli Theatre, Greater Noida. An RSVP, a mobile number has been provided, which implies that we require them to make a call and confirm to us whether or not they would be attending the event. Another quick reminder for you to remember the formula, W squared is equal to W squared revert, where it is who is the host and doing what, whom to invite, what is the event, when is it, which will include the day, the date and the time, where is it, and the répondez s'il vous plaît. And if you have any extra information that you need to put, that comes on the right side at the bottom of your invitation. Here it says entry for 2 members only. So remember, the RSVP comes on the left at the bottom and any extra information comes on the bottom right hand side. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, the beauty of this formula is that it works just as well for the reply. So if you have to give a formal reply to a formal invitation, it still stays as W squared is equal to W squared. In the previous slide, you saw how the principal, staff and students had invited Mr. and Mrs. Kapoor. Here, these two get reversed. Instead of the host and is doing what, It is the guest who now starts writing. I have not changed the lettering here and stated the host because Mr. and Mrs. Kapoor are the ones who have received the invite. Mr. and Mrs. Kapoor would like to thank the principal, staff and students of YB Public School for their invitation to Ashaएं, the annual appreciation day of the primary wing on Saturday 23rd December 2023 at 4 p.m. at the Tivoli Theatre, Greater Noida, and confirm their attendance for the same. Please note that in the formula 2, I have not written revert because this reply does not require an RSVP. And finally, to see the invitation and the reply side by side, you can see that I've written W squared is equal to W squared, which is the formula you're going to keep in mind at the bottom, and the left side is the invitation where the principal, staff and students of YB Public School are requesting Mr. and Mrs. Kapoor for their presence at Ashaएं, and on the right side, Mr. and Mrs. Kapoor are thanking the principal, staff and students of YB Public School and have confirmed their attendance for the same. Wasn't that simple? For all my viewers who have watched this video, I hope that you will remember this shortcut, W squared is equal to W squared, and revert. It is not a difficult one to remember. Thank you so very much for being with me throughout this video. I look forward to your suggestions and requests wherein you've been asking me for certain other videos to be prepared. And I promise to live up to your expectations. Thank you once again and keep watching.